In a remote forest, a majestic American bison wandered alone. Known for their strength and resilience, bisons are one of the most powerful animals in North America. However, this particular bison had been struggling for months. Its massive body, once proud and strong, was now covered with millions of barnacles and parasites. The creatures had latched onto its skin, feeding off its blood and weakening it from the inside. The bison's condition was deteriorating fast, and it became more difficult for it to find food and water. The bison's infestation wasn't just a minor nuisance. The barnacles had embedded themselves deep into its skin, and the parasites had multiplied, causing severe infections. The bison had stopped grazing and drinking properly, its once thick fur now matted and covered in layers of barnacles. Its strength was waning, and the once mighty animal appeared helpless. The infestation was so severe that it was clear the bison couldn't survive for much longer unless someone intervened. In a nearby town, a group of animal rescue experts, known for their experience with wild animal rescues, received news of the bison's condition. The team, which had saved countless animals from perilous situations before, knew this would be one of their toughest missions. With the bison's life hanging in the balance, they quickly gathered their equipment and set off for the remote location. They knew that time was critical. The longer the bison suffered, the more dangerous its condition would become. Reaching the forest where the bison had been spotted wasn't easy. The terrain was rough, and the bison had wandered into a part of the wilderness that was hard to access. But the rescue team, equipped with special gear and medical tools, navigated the dense undergrowth and rocky paths. They moved swiftly, guided by the hope of saving the majestic animal, but they knew they had to act carefully. The bison, though weak, was still a large and powerful creature, and it could become aggressive in its weakened state. After hours of searching, the team finally found the bison. It stood by the river, looking exhausted and disoriented. Its fur was patchy and thin in places where parasites had taken hold, and its movements were slow. The bison's eyes, once vibrant and full of life, now seemed tired and defeated. The team immediately assessed the situation. They knew they needed to act fast and delicately to avoid causing the bison any additional stress or injury. The team knew that removing the barnacles and parasites would be a delicate task. The bison's skin had become infected and inflamed, and they had to carefully remove the parasites without further damaging its skin. Using specialized tools, they began their work. One team member, who was a wildlife veterinarian, prepared a gentle sedative to calm the animal, ensuring it wouldn't panic during the procedure. As they got closer to the bison, it began to show signs of trust, possibly sensing that these humans were here to help. The process of removing the barnacles and parasites was slow and meticulous. The team worked together to scrape off the barnacles from the bison's thick skin, making sure to avoid any deep wounds. They gently removed each parasite, one by one, carefully checking for signs of infection. The bison's body, although weakened, seemed to respond to the treatment. The team worked for hours, stopping periodically to ensure the bison's safety and comfort. Despite its exhaustion, the animal remained calm, allowing the rescue team to continue their work. After hours of careful treatment, the bison's skin began to heal. The team noticed that the bison's breathing became less labored, and its posture seemed less hunched. The weight of the barnacles and parasites had been lifted, and it appeared that the bison was beginning to regain some of its strength. The team's efforts had paid off, and the animal was no longer in immediate danger. However, the team knew that the bison still needed time to recover fully before it could return to the wild. As the team prepared to leave the area, they watched the bison take its first few steps with greater confidence. The once sluggish animal now seemed to have a renewed sense of vitality. Its movements were steadier, and it seemed to have regained some of its natural strength. The team knew that the bison would need time to fully recover, but they were confident it would make a strong recovery. The bison had been given a second chance at life, thanks to the hard work and determination of the rescue team. A few weeks later, the bison was strong enough to return to the wild. The team, having monitored the animal's progress, felt confident that it could now survive on its own. They watched as the bison walked away, disappearing into the forest, with a renewed sense of purpose. The team felt a sense of pride and fulfillment, knowing they had played a part in saving this magnificent creature. The bison had been freed from the clutches of parasites and barnacles, and it was now ready to live the life it was meant to lead, wild, free, and strong once again.